But in the meantime, Boeing is the biggest pre-market gainer on the Dow and the S&P. FAA is clearing the way for Dreamliner deliveries after a pause last year. Phil LeBeau has details this morning. Hey, Phil.
Hey, Carl, this is huge news for Boeing, and Boeing investors like that they finally have the approval from the FAA for the resumption of 787 Dreamliner deliveries. So let me tell you exactly what's gone down. We confirmed this through multiple sources over the weekend. The FAA has approved the inspection process for the manufacturing of 787 Dreamliners. That essentially means that they're saying, okay, when you build these, we like what you have put in place here in terms of these protocols. Now you can resume deliveries, but each individual Dreamliner will have to be still approved by an authorized FAA regulator, somebody who's going to look at it. They're going to do an audit of that particular aircraft. And by the way, we've been down in Charleston. We've seen some of the work that they do in terms of checking the gaps to make sure that they are within specifications on each Dreamliner. So what does this mean in terms of the Dreamliner backlog in the inventory? Well, remember, delivery stopped in May of 2021. So they haven't been delivering these for 14 months. They have approximately 120 that are built but not yet delivered. They will start to clear out that inventory. By the way, as you take a look at shares of Boeing, that inventory worth about $25 billion. So this will help the cash flow, not immediately. It's going to take some time. Remember, they've got some abnormal production charges in there that they still have to burn off. But as you go into 23 and 24, that's where you really see the benefit in terms of the cash flow. The first delivery, likely in a few weeks. No specific date has been set at this point, and it's expected to go to American Airlines. By the way, American expecting to receive 9 Dreamliners this year. And guys, we've talked about this before. The benefit of the Dreamliner deliveries resuming is that it comes at a time when you're going to start to see long-haul traffic, the international traffic, the routes that the Dreamliner is built for, they're going to start increasing here over the next couple of years. Perfect timing for the resumption of these deliveries.
Phil, I got to tell you, this is something that's a big win for Calhoun, obviously. Next, I would say, is the hope of a China deal, but with House Speaker Pelosi flying around. I don't know if that's going to happen, but you know, Phil, this is pretty huge. Remember when they first said this was going to happen, and it was a long time ago, and it was just a great amount of disappointment. But this may end the disappointment to carriers. And I think that's a big thing, don't you?
Absolutely. You combine this with the stabilization of 737 MAX production at 31 a month, and perhaps that increases, let's say, middle of next year. They just want to stabilize it this year. That's the expectation, at least through the early part of next year. And then if you can increase that, oh, that's huge, Jim. And again, we're not going to see the huge benefit in terms of cash flow right away. There will be some benefit there, but they still have some charges there. It's in 23 and 24. That's where you really start to notice the benefit of this. And by the way, Boeing will be increasing 787 Dreamliner production. They're going to move up over the next year and a half because their backlog in terms of orders, something like 450, 480, something like that. But they will start to burn that off.
Phil, huge story. Obviously going to help the Dow this morning, up 4%. Appreciate that very much. That's our Phil LeBeau on the Boeing News today.